Hi all, welcome back to more Enemy Action Ardennes Allied Soul. This is my take 2 part 4. Okay, straight on, I left things yesterday without advancing after combat. I put this guy back. Now we did have to roll the dice for him, but he was successful in advancing. It was a 1 to 7 he needed to move into a town. This is the hex that the battle occurred, that the unit was eliminated in. So he would advance this one, and I just sort of stopped there because I didn't want to start getting muddled up, and yeah, because mechanized units can make a 2 hex advance. So now we look back at the chart again to see if he'll advance the second hex. Now remember the unit was eliminated, so it's always considered if the unit's eliminated, the advance is going to be deviating from the path of retreat. Okay. So from there, we look at the little chart again. Now, it says, is there a primary or secondary forward route or across the river and closer to army objective? Well, both of these actually apply with that, aren't they? Because that's the primary arrow forward route into this hex. And it is advancing across the river and becoming closer to its army objective. So he would make the second hex advance in there. Now this is an automatic advance as well, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. I want to try and steer away a little bit from spending too much time. I feel like dragging things down a bit too much. So the second hex, so we're looking here, primary or secondary forward route, or across the river and closer to army objective, or in a VPX, or enable supply. Well, actually, the secondary route, but that's not going to be a 2 hex advance, is it? Yeah, okay. So, and this is number of advancing German units already in the hex. And although that 58 core units in that hex, it's not advanced. So there's no German units that have already advanced into that hex. So it's going to be an automatic advance. Just looking at there, it says primary or secondary. Because it could have, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to tell me somewhere that if it advances twice, it's got to have actually moved. Highest chance of advance only. A mechanized unit. Hang on. That's the deviate from path of retreat to follow the primary or secondary route if able. Otherwise, check for unit advance along path of retreat. Well, there's no path of retreat. Yeah, there we go. There it is. So on the next page, 53. Well, the next page, the next part of this is all examples. If a unit advancing the second hex has a choice of advancing in the primary or secondary forward direction, choose the hex occupied by the fewer units than the primary direction. Well, I still want to say that if it's advancing, it needs to advance 2 hexes, but I might be wrong with this. I might need to look more into this. Here was me thought, and I could just jump in here and get this bit finished. So he's advanced from here to here, and you can see the primary arrow's going that way, which is fine. The secondary arrow's going that way, which means he's advancing into there, then advancing into there. And just looking at that sort of preference there, it says if a unit advancing a second hex has a choice of advancing the primary or secondary forward direction, choose the hex occupied by the fewer units than the primary direction. Well, you can see this is occupied by a unit, this is not, which tends to suggest it's going to go like that. So it's going to advance into there and then advance into there. That means it's basically only moved 1 hex, whereas if it went boom boom like that, then it's moved 2 hexes. Now I'm not sure if that's relevant or not, and I've not read anything. That's the end of it, basically. Okay, pause, Grant, pause. Yeah, I actually cannot find anything to change my mind on this. Now, hang on, a bridge hex side. No more than one unit may advance across a given bridge, river, hex side into an enemy controlled hex in a single combat. Yeah, that doesn't apply. So yeah, he's going to automatically advance with either primary or secondary forward route. Yeah, because that's the first one. Primary or secondary forward route, or across a river and closer to army objective, or in the VP hex, or enable supply. Right, so you wouldn't be. There's no VP hex. There's no enabling supply. However, this is the primary direction. This is the secondary direction. The other one is or across a river and closer to army objective. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it goes there, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, so that would be getting crossing the river and closer to army objective. So which one? If it has a choice of hexes to enter, check for advance into the hex with the highest chance of advance only. Well, it's an automatic advance for all of these. Yeah, it just boils down to if a unit advances the second hex. If a unit advancing the second hex has a choice of advancing the primary or secondary forward direction, choose the hex occupied by the fewer units, then the primary direction. That suggests going into there. But I suppose what I'm wondering about here is, it doesn't mention, I mean, are these in a priority order? Route of advance, primary or secondary forward route, or across river and closer to army objective. Why am I having issues with that? Because it tells me what to do if there's a choice between primary or secondary. It doesn't really tell me what to do if it was across the river and closer to the army objective. I don't think these are written in a way, in an order, but I could be wrong. Check the movement arrows. See, for each unit eligible to advance, check the movement arrows and units hex to determine if its advance would be into hex in the primary, secondary, closer to army objective, or some other direction. Sort the following table. Roll the die. If the die result falls in the indicated range, the unit advances. So we've got a choice between primary, secondary, or across river. We know that it breaks it down. If there's a choice between primary or secondary, you pick the one that's got the least units, which would be the secondary. But where does the river come into it? Am I overthinking there? Maybe. It'd be the first time with that. Okay. Okay, so I just went back looking at. I know I asked a few questions the first time I had to play through on this. It's sometimes nice to look over your questions again because it might be the same things might crop up to you. I can't see anything that I've asked about advance after combat though. I get the feeling I'm not quite just following this right. I think primary or secondary primary or secondary forward route, or across river and closer to an objective. Or, see, there's big ors there that sort of suggest that yeah, if it has a choice of hexes to enter, check for advance and the hex with the highest chance of advance only. Well, it's a guaranteed advance, so that one doesn't apply. Yeah, I can only go by if a unit advances second. Well, to be honest, if it was a choice of advancing the primary or secondary forward direction, across the river and closest to army objective is in the primary direction as well. Also, so if that choice is there, it's going to go to the hex occupied by the fewer units. So I'm going to put it there. So So he's advanced once into there, once into there. Now, when they advanced into there, they gained control, and it's not like Kharkov had you stopping and you couldn't advance, didn't it? I think this was different. I think you could still carry on with this. There's nothing there that sort of says that I would have to stop. There's a restriction that says a unit will not advance out of a VP or West Wall hex if doing so would result in ally supply being traceable. So I mean, if this was a VP town, for instance, and well, none of the rest of these German units were there, it wouldn't advance out of that hex if it was allowing ally supply to the hex. But yeah, so I suppose we should have now our first German control marker. Now anything to the east of the river there, any of the towns that are there, like, you know, this one back here, I'm not going to mark that as German because that starts as German anyway. But that's the first one they've taken there, so right, I think that's right. Let me know if I know that bit about the route advance. Well, I get the feeling it's me here that's having the issue, and there's nothing to it. Okay, next unit to advance now. Yeah, they can all advance, can't they? Yeah. Okay, in ascending order, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so what's the next one? I remember this guy can't attack. He's got selector number 1, actually. So that was 2, 8, so we've got 3 next. Now, that's in the primary direction, so there's no units already advanced into that hex. Well, he did, but he's not there anymore. It's number of advancing German units already in the hex. So that's a no, so he's going to advance into there automatically. Now, he's then got the second possibility of advancing. Well, this time he's going to go here, isn't he? Primary or secondary forward route, or across the river and closer army objective. And then, like we've said, if it's advancing, second hex has a choice of advancing primary or secondary, you choose the hex occupied by the fewer units. Well, we can't do that. And then the primary direction. So it's going to be that. Okay, I'll just leave that like that so we can see a little bit of the blue underneath there. Next unit, now remember, infantry only advance 1, that's 9, 14, well I've got 8. So he's not, well that's the same as this guy, wasn't it? So he's going to roll on this. I'm just going to roll this off camera, I think, it's not terribly important. So, because it's not his primary direction or secondary, it's not across the river, it's not a VPX, so it's the next sort of blocks down, it is into a town. So on a roll of a 1 to 7, I should really show that. There's not an awful lot of die rolls in this game, but right, a 1 to 7, he's rolled a 4, so that's a yes as well. So his first hex of advance is going to be into the town. Now he's mechanised, so can advance the second hex again. He's got the same thing, so he's going to go in here still, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. Because again, it's primary direction. Oh no, hold on, fewer units, Grant. If a unit advances the second hex, choice of advancing the primary or secondary, choose the hex occupied by the fewer units. So there's 2 units in there, there's only 1 in there, so he will advance it there. I'm just going to put him underneath. Right. And then the infantry units, we've got 9 down the bottom here. And that's going in the secondary direction. So he will auto-advance into there. 13's next. That's going in the second direction, but now, just to swing around and have a look here, Remember the first infantry unit that moved is infantry, so it can't move as second hex, advance to second hex. It's only mechanised. So, but this one is going in the secondary direction. However, this time there is one unit that's already advanced into the hex, so we need to roll on a 1 to 6. It'll advance. Anything else it won't. So a 1 to 6. Rolled a 10. The 0 is a 10, isn't it? Yeah. So no. Yeah, it was 1 to 6. Yeah. Okay. So no. So he's going to stay put. And then finally 14. That's his primary direction. The advance. So it's just the same. It's going to be a 1 to 6 as well for him. He's rolled a 7. So no for him either. So they're just going to stay put. Okay, right, I think that resolves that combat. Yeah. So now we move back to 9.5 to do a German attack determination on the next. There was only 2 possible attacks, wasn't there? The one down here and then this one here. So we're looking to find the lead unit. It's going to be the lowest selector number. Now this unit underneath the 58 one isn't involved at the moment, so we're not considering him. So that's right. That check each active unit, yeah, because he's not active. So this has got a selector number 4, and he's got a 6. So he's going to be our lead unit. So that's got 4 strength as well. So we're 4, 8, 10. Yeah, we treat the lead unit, include all other active units that have not yet attacked in the current activation or adjacent. So we've got 10. Include all active German reserves as none. If the support card shows assault coordination, we would consider the blue unit underneath. It does not. And then once it's been identified, calculate situational strength. So we've got 10 to 3, which is 3 to 1 at the moment. However, half the total of German units rounded down that would be attacking across a river, or not attacking across a river. It is attacking in the forest this time though, which I think will come in it. So double the strength of allied units defending a city, hex, add to or subtract for the following situations. Right, so the first, yeah, there's no doubling in halving. +1 if it's in forest terrain. Hold on, so yeah, so now we've got a strength of 10 and we add 1 to that, so it's 4. So it's 10 to 4. +1 if he's in an improved position. He's not. Is he adjacent to a supplied allied unit? He's not. In clear terrain, no. He's not dispersed on a low supply. So it's a +1, so it's 10 to 4, which is well, it's 2 and a bit to 1, isn't it? Yeah, so it's 10 to 4. Yeah. I'm terrible with this stuff. So 10 to 4, yeah, so it's greater than 2 to 1. So it's not equal to or greater than 4 to 1. It's less than 3 to 1, but the units aren't in low supply. So if the ratio is at least 1 to 1 and less than 4 to 1, we roll the die, adding applicable die modifiers, and consult the marginal attack table to determine if the attack is conducted or cancelled. Right. So we've got yeah, well, it doesn't matter what the odds are now. We know it's in the bracket between 1 to 1 and 4 to 1. Okay. It's between 1 to 1 and 4 to 1. We're going to roll in this table. There is modifiers at the top. And the 16th one's going to come in it. So we subtract 1 for each of the following. December the 16th, it is. So we're going to take a -1. Attackers include elite units, and defender has no elite units. Defender's actually green. No, all the attacking units are just line quality. So no. Attackers activated by an army or an army group card. No, they were not. Support card shows applicable combat tactic. Yeah, it does. Because like I've said, we've got, well, there's other units that could possibly join in here as well, rather than the unit that's adjacent. But this is a support card, and it's got reinforced battle. So my guess is that's applicable. So -1, so it's a -2 to this. Yeah, so obviously a higher number the worse. Yeah, I still think this is going to go ahead. So I think it's a -2 to this die roll. So let's roll the die and see what we get, and then we'll consult the table. 2. Right, well that's going to be a 0, so I think that goes ahead, doesn't it? Yeah, you can see there. Attack proceeds, do not cancel. But the chances, what we had, we weren't less than 2 to 1, so you can see it could go right down to here, and it had to be a high die roll for it not to go with this, with the odds. So okay, so we're going to have another attack. Okay. Right, okay, so we need, and this is one thing I used to do before as well. I'm pretty sure the very first playthrough I watched of this. Who was the first playthrough I watched of this game? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you used 2 dice, one for the odds and one for the chip pools. So the odds here are, what did we say, 4 to 8, 10 to 3. So the odds are 3 to 1. Okay, and the Germans' favour, but this could change. Right, so we're going to draw a combat tactic for the Germans. Right, we get combat engineers. Okay, combat engineers for the Germans as a combat tactic. They're attacking. So we add 1 to the attacker's combat strength. In addition, we remove an IP from the defender's hex prior to resolving combat. The defender may not play tactics to build an IP in this combat. So we cannot play combat engineers. We can't build an IP in this combat. And he gets to add 1 to his strength. So his strength now has become 11 to 3. Still 3 to 1 odds. So nothing changed there. But it is an applicable combat tactic, so that applies. Now, then, if the combat tactic on the German support card, if any, differs for the drawn combat tactic and would benefit the German attack, apply it as a bonus combat tactic. The exception is the overwhelming German attack, but remember, you need 9 to 1 odds for that. So we're going to bring this in now and reinforce the battle as well. But I'm just realising that these 2 guys as a stack could, I think, cross the river here. The guy underneath could join reinforce the battle. I mean, there's lots of options here. We're going to have to look at it and work out which is the right one, clearly. So we've got another reinforced battle. We'll just let the thing on. Right. Select 1 active or inactive stat that did not move or attack in the current activation. Yeah, okay, so there's multiple choices that could reach combat in a single movement action to participate in the combat. If defending, well, they're not. When attacking, a unit is eligible to reinforce a battle. If in the same army, well, these are all these are the 66, and then you've got the 58 that are, possibilities here. They're all from this 5th Panzer Army, so they're all eligible. If more than 1 stat can reach a combat, choose a stat that will not be attacking across a river. Okay, so let's move that a little bit. So that kind of rules out these guys coming across here, I think. They'd be attacking across the river. The guy underneath here would not be attacking across the river. This guy here technically could go into there and into there to attack, not across the river. This guy could go 1, 2, 3 and attack. He could go in there. Well, that's the spare. So, yeah, he could come in here as well. So, these are all. Now hold on. Forgetting about this guy. I think he would be restricted from moving, wouldn't he? Because if I was to move him and reinforce the battle, that west wall hex, I think, would be an allied supply. And although it's been a while since I've talked about supply, I'm knocking these units about again. It's just where they are. I get the feeling that happened previously with this game. Right, okay, I think that's right. Yes, sorry, where was he? He was there, wasn't he? Yeah, I think supply's going to open up to that west hall hex. Oh, shouldn't you just double checking that? I don't think it's going to be that guy anyway, but that would be a restriction. Yeah, I'm just starting to remember. Supply is quite a huge thing in this game as well, isn't it? Tracing supply. Unit or hex is in supply if a path of no more than 4 hexes can be traced from the unit or hex to a hex on a friendly map edge or to a road hex that is a valid supply head. So, just considering this again. Could this go 1... And it can't go across the river, though. Yeah, it can't go across the river, can it? It's... What does it talk about? River. If the path crosses an unbridged river hex head, its allowed length is shortened to 1 hex. That is, unbridged river hex head must border the unit's hex. A valid supply head must be an adjacent hex. Yeah, so that doesn't work, actually. So maybe if that guy did come down, this wouldn't be an allied supply. Because it can trace into here, but it can't then trace into this hex because of this German unit zone of control. And it can't trace across the river. I think it's probably alright, actually. It just looks a bit odd, that one coming down. I think that's the only restriction. I mean, he's moving away from that unit, but... Oh, and bear in mind, it would cost him 2 movement though, Grant. And that's straight into the forest. I don't think he could make it, actually. Because it's 1 movement to break zone of control. No, he has infantry, though. It's 2 for the forest. So, yeah, it's going to cost him 3 movement to move into that hex alone. Yeah, so he can't do it. But he could, and he could... And the guy underneath could, and I think these could. Okay. Right. Right, back to breaking it down then. If more than one stack can reach, choose a stack that will not be attacking across the river, then the stack that will cause an unsurrounded defender to become surrounded, then the stack with the lowest numbered unit. Okay. So we've already said if these were to be involved, they can't come around, I don't think. That's woods. Broken is 2, woods is 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the guys to move into that hex. That's not any good. And if they go in there, they're attacking across the river. So I think that rules out them. This guy underneath's still eligible. So what? Hang on. What was the second? To become surrounded. I don't. Oh, hold on. Maybe. Nah, he's going to be moving. It's 3. No, it's 4 for him to move into the forest. Yeah, no, but he can't go for there, can't. I'm just thinking this guy's not got zone of control, but no, we can't get a unit into there, so cannot surround that guy. Is that right? Yeah, and yeah, I can't surround them. So can't surround them. So it's going to be the stack with the lowest numbered unit. Will cause an unsurrounded defender becomes surrounded. Then the stack with the lowest numbered unit. Okay, so this is a 5, which could do it. This is a 4. This is a 1, but we said he can't make it, can he? No. And this is a 4. No, Grant. It's the blue one underneath you need to know. Oh, he's a 2. It's going to be him then, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to be him. I mean, if you were doing this yourself, you might sort of think this is a good move for them to go across the river and join in the reinforced battle. But you know, you don't. The Germans get away with enough. I'm not saying this is a daft move either by them not doing that, but you know, just there's some things you just let happen as they're meant to be. So I think the guy underneath is going to reinforce the battle. He's an inactive stack that did not move or attack, that could reach the combat in a single movement. Now, he would also try and... well, oh no, I can't though anyway. I'm just thinking here that when you move adjacent, your priority is to reach an empty hex, which kind of like sort of means, you know, but we're not looking at that just now. We were deciding what unit was going to reinforce the battle, and these were not in the consideration because there's no space for them in that hex, right? If there was space for them in that hex, then yes, you would consider it, I suppose. On saying that, the unit underneath is selector number 2, so he's the lowest number. So I'm going to go with that, I think. Right, hang on. Yeah, and I forgot also that even if that guy hadn't been in the 5th Panzer Army, he would have been eligible because he's adjacent to the actual target. And it says that there, when attacking, a unit is eligible to reinforce battle if in the same army as at least one attacking unit or already adjacent to the defending units. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. I think he was 3 strength, was he? He's elite though, I think. Yeah, he is. So 4, 8, 11, 12, 13. And then we've got the +1 for the combat engineers is 14. So that's bumped up to 41, isn't it? So that's the odds now. The actual odds, mind, that's what we're dealing with now. You only check the situational bit up until the part that matters. Right, so going back to the attack procedure again, German combat sequence on page 39. So well, at least that's the support card out of the way. We're not going to get another impulse by them. So now they would add active German reserves. Well, there's none. Now we get the chance to play combat tactic. Well, I think I said, now remember we can't play combat engineers. No, we can't play something that builds an IP, but I think that is combat engineers for us, isn't it? Plays an IP marker on defending unit level. So we can't play that. We do actually have one of them. I think I'll play my core artillery this time. The odds are slightly better, so to be honest, these should be over the other side, shouldn't they? And we're playing that. And they're playing the reinforced battle and combat engineers. Yeah, and then at the end of this, we've got cards in our deck, so that's going to shuffle into the deck. It's not that it's a card that I'm eagerly awaiting to play my next impulse either, because, well, I say that, I mean, the 5th Corps, they're all the way up the north there, so activating them is not really there's no trouble up there. The trouble is, as we know, down the middle here. So I don't think playing that card is a big issue, and we're clearly going to try and deploy. I think we're going to deploy these 2 armoured units. We need one in Bastogne at least there, and maybe somewhere else as well. Okay, we'll play the core artillery then. So moving on, we're going to draw combat chits. Right, so the Germans always draw the maximum. We realised that in the last one. Odds are 4 to 1. Right, what is the combat chits? Where are we? Drawing maximum. Right, so it's 1 for a non-bracketed unit that's attacking, right? So 1, and we've got 2, 3, 4. There's 3 in there. So that's 4. 1 for each combat tactic. Another 2. So we're up to 6. 1 if the attacking units include 1 or more elite units. Remember the blue 58 core unit down the bottom is elite. So that's 7. And just noticed, yeah, our unit's green as well, so doesn't bode well as well. 1 for each attacking unit with 3 or 4 steps. No, doesn't apply. 1 if the defender's out of supply. No. Plus 2 if the defender's isolated. No. Minus 2 if it's green. Right, okay, so we've got 7 chits. So let's find a space. I'll just put them all here somewhere. So yeah, here we go. So first one, Allied air power or German air power, no, doesn't apply. Only attack or combined arms, yes, that's going to be the case. Yeah, we're just an infantry unit, so that is going to apply, so that's the first hit. First hit to the defenders, to us. That's 2. 5 more to go as well. 4 to 1 or less than 3 to 1. The odds are 4 to 1. Yeah. Just double checking. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, and then plus 1 for the combat engineers. 14, 3 4s or 12. Yeah. That's right, yeah. Okay. Alright, 3 down, 4 to go. Not looking good. 5 to 1, no. Less L, greater than or equal to 3 to 1, yes. Well, that's a hit to them, but remember the whole, what is the bit? I'll probably come across it. Yeah, German attacker hit reduction. So if they overkill us, they get to reduce these hits anyway. 7 to 1, no. Flank attack. I can't remember. I mean, does it look like a flank attack? You would think it would need to come from. I mean, I'm just thinking back to DD at Pellew, which was the last war game I had out, and that wouldn't be a flank attack. This is Mr. Battlefield game. That's not to say though. Flank attack. What was on? Actually, the other one is 1 hex attack, isn't it? Oh no, it was on the back of 7 to 1. Right, okay. I know they have some of them that go flank attack and then 1 hex attack, so detrimental on it. Flank attack applies if the attacking unit occupies at least 3 hexes or occupy 2 hexes not adjacent to each other, or if a German attack is supported by the infantry infiltration combat tactic. Flank attack does not apply if the defender is in a town or city. Yeah, he's not in a town, is he? No. He's in the woods. We've had nothing to help him there. Unfortunately, that is not a flank attack though, because if this unit was attacking from here, then yes, it would apply. But, so no, so that's 5 down, 2 more to go. Oh dear. 1 to 1, yeah, it is. I think they're going to have enough hits to avoid taking in it. Well, I don't know. We get something on the last one, maybe? Where's the artillery? Or the woods? No, it's not woods, it's forest, isn't it? So that's 2, 4, 6, yeah, 1 more. City, no, woods. Yes. We're getting woods. Well, it's not, sorry. Again, it's not woods, it's forest, but forest's on it as well. So that applies. It wasn't a city. However, it is in the forest. So that's a D-1. Okay, that's our 7 chits. Yep, I'll take that away. Don't think we need that either. Okay, so what we got? We've got well, this can cancel out that, so that's fine. So we'll take these 2 away, and then what we're left with is D3, A2. Okay, D3, A2. Right, well, we're going to survive because retreat, step loss, and take a, and they've been dispersed as well, but at least I think we're going to survive. So yeah, the last guy got wiped out, so I've not really looked at this bit yet. Yeah, and I forgot, if he'd been in a town, city, or improved position, he ignored, it soaks up one of the hits, doesn't it? But he wasn't. Conducting a German attack. Well, if conducting a German attack with assault coordination combat tactic, hits to the attacker are reduced by 1. Okay, that's nasty. So if they play assault coordination, they get their hits reduced by 1. I wasn't played though, I'm just looking over things. Right, after calculating each side's hits, like I say, it's D3, A2. By each hit, by removing a step, or by retreating or dispersing all participating units, defending units may all retreat 1 hex to satisfy 1 hit, retreat 2 hexes and disperse all defending units to satisfy 2 hits. So that's what we're going to have to do here. The first hit incurred by attacking units must be applied as a step loss to one of those units. Hang on. Defending units may all retreat 1 hex to satisfy 1 hit. Oh, sorry. The first hit incurred by attacking units must be applied as a step loss to one of those units. Up to 2 additional hits may be satisfied by dispersing all attack. Yeah, that's a German side of that. And that's different because, yeah, they've got a wee procedure assigning hits to German attackers there. Right. You're not required to retreat or disperse allied units. You may choose to apply all hits as step losses. Yeah, I mean, so I could just let the guy die there, but that still makes sense, I think, to retreat on. There might be arguments for that, I suppose, possibly. So applying step losses. Retreats. Defender, whether allied or German in combat, may satisfy 1 hit by retreating. Retreat priorities. Retreats are conducted by moving units 1 hex away from the hex they occupy during combat, observing stacking limits at the completion of the retreat in the following priority order. Okay, so I need this is where I could get rid of the chits and use dice as well. I think I would set up a dice for D3 and then work it like that. I think I had different coloured dice, didn't I? I think previously, yeah. Maybe I should look back on some of the footage, see some of the things the ways I've done it, because I feel like it worked all right. But anyway, we've got the chits still here. Anyway, these chits can go away. To be honest, these don't apply. So these other ones do apply. These go back in the other cup, not in the cup that we're going to draw from. Right. So the priority is into a hex, not in enemy control. So he can't retreat into there, right? So let's zoom in on that situation there. Can't go there, Could go there or there. So he's got 2 choices. So the next is into a hex in enemy control occupied by a friendly supplied unit. Well, neither of them are occupied by a friendly supplied unit. So no. 3. Into an unoccupied hex. Oh, sorry, hang on. That second one was into a hex in enemy control. Right, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. The priority one is into a hex not in enemy control. If none available, then you carry on. There is some available. There's 2 available. We don't go and look at 2, 3, 4 grand. We then move to see more than one choice. And I know I'm not showing you this in the book, but it's just taking up too much time. I'm reading it myself. Page 48, retreats. So the more than one choice, within any of these priorities, retreat into any hex regardless of terrain. So my choice, however, retreat is allowed across an unbridged river or into a forest hex, not via road, only if no other hex is available. Well, okay. So both these options are going across an unbridged river. And this one's actually going into a forest via... so these are only allowed if there's no other option. Retreat is allowed across an unbridged river. Not via road, only if no other hex is available. Yeah, okay. Avoid elimination, stay together. Already retreated units, 2 hex retreat. I'll come back to that in a second. Right, so my choices are here or here. Wouldn't it be better just going back into St. Vith, maybe? What does it say about the 2x retreat? Defender only may retreat undispersed units. Do I really want an undispersed unit in St. Vith? I don't know if that's better than a roadblock or not. The defender only may retreat undispersed units 2x to satisfy a second combat hit. Upon doing so, the retreating units become dispersed. Unit retreating 2 hexes may retreat through friendly units in excess of the stacking limit. 2 hex retreat must end 2 hexes away from the combat hex. Okay, what is this? Is this guy from the same corps? No, he's not. Because remember, we've got 3 hits to take, so 2 of them are retreating, and he's going to take a step loss as well. I think I'll maybe just retreat him in beside this guy, actually. Well, yeah, it'd be nicer to stayed in the forest, wouldn't it? Well, I can't. That's broken terrain. Yeah, I can't really beat that. Well, apart from going to St. Vith, but I mean, then the roadblock gets removed. We're sitting with a dispersed unit there. It doesn't really need... That doesn't stop... Yeah, that's bad. That's not good, is it? Because the dispersed unit, he would just go around it. There's no zone of control, even though he's in the town. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to retreat him here for one, and then I'm going to retreat him here for the second one. He's going to become dispersed, and for the third hit, I'm going to take that as a step loss. So he's going to become dispersed, same as that guy. So they're both dispersed. Yeah, that's not ideal having them. Well, hopefully I'll need to look in there to see. Right, that's the 3 hits of ours taken. Right, and give me a little red cube. This is where the combat happened. Right, but before, they've got 2 hits to take. We've taken all 3. What was the one about the German attacker hit reduction? The number of hits incurred by the Germans and a German attack is reduced if all Allied units defending the combat are eliminated and Allied hits remain unfulfilled. Yeah, well, we didn't get eliminated, so they are taking the 2 hits. Good. That worked out pretty, well, certainly better than the last combat. So where are we? German. Assign a hits to German attackers. Right, the first hit incurred by German units attacking in combat is assigned as a step loss. So one of the guys is taking a step loss. So German step losses as follows. Apply a German step loss to a 4-step unit. No. There's no 4-step units. They're all 2-step units. If no 4-step unit, then to a 2 or 3-step unit. So all them are 2-step units. If there's more than one choice in any of the above category, apply the loss to the unit in the hex with the most total steps. So it's going to go in this hex, because it's got 6 steps. Then to the unit with a higher selector number, still more than one you choose. So it's going to go in that hex, and then the highest number. So it's going to be number 6. This layer unit here is going to take the step loss. Okay. So that's satisfied one of the 2 step losses. Right. The second hit, if the attacker now consists of just 1 step, place a second hit. If the attacker now consists of just 1 step, place a disperse mark on the attacking unit. Otherwise, roll the die. If the die result is equal to or less than the hold value of the hex under attack, or equal to or less than the number of steps in the attacking units at the moment of the roll, they assign the second hit as a step loss. Die result is greater than both values, disperse all attacking units. Okay. So, right, we're going to roll a die. And what's the hold value of the hex then? So is it the hex? Hang on. If the die result, the hold value of the hex under attack, yeah. So the hold value of the hex, this hex is a 4. No modifiers to this. So if it's greater than, right, hang on. If it's equal to or less than the hold value, that's a 4. So if it's a 4 or less, or it's equal to or less than the number of steps in the attacking units. Yeah, okay. So now that was at the moment of the roll. Okay, so it does count the fact that guy's lost a step. So that's going to be the higher number, isn't it? So it's going to be 2, 4, 6. It's going to be 7. There's 7 steps. It was 8 steps originally, but he's taking a step loss, and it does say at the moment of the roll. So if it's equal to or less than the number of steps in attacking units at the moment of the roll, assign the second hit as a step loss. If it's greater than both values, it's going to disperse all the attacking units, which is kind of what would be nicer for us, I think. So the number's 7, did I say? 7's the highest number. Yeah, it's 7. The whole value is 4, but the steps is 7. So 7 or less. Roll the 6. So that is equal to or less. So we're going to assign the second hit as a step loss. And that means they'll still be able to advance. So assign the step loss again. You've got to assign step losses evenly. No, it's going to affect. It's the other stack that will take the step loss, I think. Furthermore, when assigning step losses to units that attack from multiple hexes, units in a given hex may not be assigned the second step loss until 1 step loss has been assigned to every hex. So it's going to be this guy, which is a bit annoying because he was the highest one. He's only got 2 strengths. He's going to take the second step loss. Okay, that's that done. And now we can get rid of the chits. And look at that now. Can we get rid of the cards as well? Yeah, I'm going to have to remember that's going to get shuffled in. In fact, I can just do that now. To be honest, it's hard to shuffle just 3 cards, isn't it? Well, I'm doing a wee bit shuffle here the now. Well, I'm not going to draw back up until I've played my card anyway. Right. I'm pretty sure that's shuffled enough. Right, okay. And then these two just get discarded. Careful. Okay, so advance after combat, and then we'll get this wrapped up. Well, this time there was a path of retreat. So we went from here to here, and then into here. So again, remember the 58? The blue guy down the bottom can't advance. Selector number, we've got 32 now, and 4 and 28. So it's 4. Oh, that was clever. Not. Right, hang on. They're on 1406, aren't they? They're not both reduced, were they? It was 28. He can advance. He is 28, and this guy was on the right side. He's 4, yeah. So, I was looking at, I wanted to see where the arrows were. Right, so primary arrow is going across the bridge. So it's not, this is not into the primary direction, or the secondary, or across a river and closer to the army objective. Right? Or into a VP hex, no. Or enable supply, no, well, no, that doesn't come into it yet. Right, so it's not the first section, so it's not going to be an automatic advance here. Is it into a town? No. Is it closer to its army objective? Let's see its army objective here. So that's a no, I think, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's in there. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that's a no as well. So it's another route. So he's not going to advance. Okay. And then we'll look at 28. Well, 28 is exactly the same. So he's not going to advance either. Hang on. Yeah, so it looks like neither of them are advancing. Sort of feels a little bit iffy. However, to be honest, at the moment they're sitting on the road with an open bridge in front of them, so it maybe makes sense that they don't want to go in that hex, do they? Certainly don't they two. Right, what about 32 though? Where's its arrows? Well, it's not got any unless it's 1 and that. No, he doesn't have any arrows in his hex. So no primary, no secondary. But he will be getting closer to his army objectives. So I think he'll maybe have a die roll. No river. No, it's not in a town. It is closer to his army objective though. Clearly, because he's going to be moving that way, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So it's a 1 to 7 roll because nobody's advanced into there. So, again, I know I'm not showing you that. It's on page 50 if you want to look at that little chart. Right, a 1 to 7 and he will advance. Roll the 6, so yes. Right, so he advances 1 hex into here. Now, actually he can, because he's not going to be deviating from the path of retreat, is he? Now, hold on, no, he surely can't advance over the river though, Grant. You need to be adjacent to the river to start with, surely. You're not advancing across the... No, that's bridge. Unbridged hex side. A unit may only advance across an unbridged river hex side if it attacked across that hex side or is following the path. Or is following the path of retreat. Surely he can't advance another hex into that forest, can he? A mechanized unit advancing the second hex will deviate from the path of retreat to follow the primary route. there's no primary root. Anyway. Second hex entered in advance may be any hex adjacent to the attacked hex. However, when deviating from the path of retreat, well, it's not deviating from the path of retreat. If it was, he wouldn't be able to cross the Unbridged River hex side. Well, that says it there, so I think he's allowed to do this then, yeah. This feels odd as well. Because why would it say, however, when deviating from the path of retreat, the advancing unit may not move directly from one enemy control hex to another, may not cross an unbridged river, and this is for the second hex. So it's suggesting that if it wasn't deviating, it could use its second advance hex across an unbridged river. Yeah. Yeah, unit may only advance across an unbridged river if it attacked across that hex side or is following the path of retreat. It must stop in the hex across the river, even if the unit is mechanised and has advanced only one hex. Ah, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it does. So he's going to advance the second hex into there, I believe. Okay, and we're done. We're done. Right, I think that's activation over, an impulse over, isn't it? Let me skip back to German unit activations. We've conducted attacks and we've done all advanced active combat. We would then remove eligible active units to the reserved units box, 9.6. Well, everybody moved, so I want to say that it needs to be somebody that didn't move. And although there was one guy in there that was considered to have moved, I'm sure that was one question that came up previously for me. In step 6, check to see if inactive units are removed. Check in ascending order. Units eligible for removal if all the following apply at the moment of the check. Oops, I'll skip the page there. Right, the unit did not move or attack in the current activation. Well, see, yeah, because the words to that unit, I want to say it was that guy. No, it's not that guy there. I'm talking rubbish. Remember, there's somebody that was considered to have moved. I'm saying that he probably attacked anyway. If he's considered to have moved, then the unit must have moved. Yeah. I mean, he didn't move, but he's considered to have moved. The unit was not placed on the map. Yeah, so all the units did move or attack. So nobody's going back to reserve. So let's leave it at that, Grant. From the 20th, we would place IP markers, and then final step is remove disperse markers from the units in active formation. Well, there's none of that. And that's that. So the card's done. Zoom out. This card's done. Goes discard. We then check the support card box to see if there's another card, which would then become another impulse form. There is not. If the support card is still in the support card box, yeah. When the command is completed, place the command card in the discard pile. Yeah, that's it. That's their impulse over. Okay, so I'll tidy up the stuff. I mixed in our core artillery card as well, so we're down to 3 cards. Now, we're not going to get draw up until the end of our next impulse. So I'll just straighten up the units first. Right, okay, that's everybody straightened back up. We do have some units mixed cores. I remember the allied one there as well. Need to watch that, I suppose. I'm sort of showing them. It's difficult with that one because that guy's dispersed. I suppose I could do a little bit like that, just to bring it to attention. Okay, well, that was pretty bad, wasn't it? I mean, it's meant to be bad that way, but that was... yeah, I mean, they've got a clear run for Bastogne right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they go. And they don't have to roll dice and check for roadblocks and all that stuff. However, we do have an impulse in between, so my guess is reserves, we put something in Bastogne, and then I don't know. We've got the roadblocks up at Veal Sam and St Vath, but Ettlebrook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I mean they could come down to us. That's their objective market. Remember there. Are they likely to activate again? Well, maybe. Well, to be honest, we know that their primary card for the 47th is not in the deck still. It's in the discard pile because, they got that mega sort of starting. They get the special start thing. And there's none of the army group cards. So that should be all that the 47th are going to do on this day. But we still need to watch. There might be some special event comes up or that. So we need to protect Bastogne for sure. And I don't know where the other unit's going to go. I think we can deploy one of them there though. So anyway, that'll be for another day. So yeah, I was a wee bit anxious about starting another part there today. I feel like I've been sort of struggling along with that. I tried to make that part go a little bit smoother, but probably not. It's probably just the same. Not an awful lot happened, but I'm going to take my time, not make mistakes, and I just feel like there's mistakes out there easily made, and I could quite easily see myself doing them. I'm expecting to get pulled up for something pretty soon, I think. But hopefully I'll watch this back first before I've not released the previous part 3 yet. I really want to try and get them released as quick as I can, but I like to watch them back myself, as I've always said, so it's a bit of a catch-22, because then anything that I find or somebody else finds in part 3 there's a mistake, and now I've recorded part 4. Yeah, you know what I mean, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay, might get back from our part tomorrow. We shall see. Just when it comes along. Okay, cheers.